I was talking to a friend of mine. I was talking about the wonderful meeting that we had Monday. And is this somebody's camera? Are you supposed to be up here?
No.
But, okay, anyway.
It's okay.
About the wonderful meeting that we had Monday and how the young lady had said that, had agreed that we're really a precious people regardless to all of what we go through. So, and then he thought of this poem, and I would like to read that too right quick. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. So he was saying to that, even though they try to crush us, still we rise. And so it says, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may try me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Why are you so beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides. Just like popes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard? You may shoot me with your words, and you may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history, shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wine, welling and swelling, I bear the tide. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of slaves. I rise, I rise, I rise. And to that leads on to my great sister, Queen Nanny of the Caribbean of Jamaica. And she certainly does rise, and she certainly believed in collective works and responsibility. But first I would like to acknowledge Virginia Flowers and all the sisters and brothers here at Vineyard Neighborhood Association for inviting me to come back to speak today. Queen Nanny was called the maroon chieftainess of Jamaica in around 1780s. She was brought here from Ghana and also her brothers, quite surprisingly. And they were fearless warriors in Ghana even before they got here. And so that was their first mistake when they brought her and her brothers over. And so in Jamaica, and there was a town named after her too, called Nanny Town. That's how much respect and honor that she had, and that's how much of a warrior that her and her brothers were. And Jamaica is known as the land of wood and water. So what they did, they were ran off, and so they stayed up in the mountains of Jamaica. And they were known to be quite of statisticians. They knew how to fight. They had been fighting. They had stationed themselves in a position in the mountains that if the British tried to come up there, then they could just kill them even before they got there. And she's from the Ashanti tribe. I'm not big on DNA because I had a woman, a doctorate from Kansas University up there. That's my granddaughter. That's where she go to college. And I belong to a genealogy club, so you have to be kind of questionable because those are human beings and Europeans mostly that's running it. So it's a money thing, so they might tell you anything. However, I mean that's the truth. But however, I might have to kind of stick to it and think about it a little bit more because one of my brothers had our DNA taken for our family. and it said that we were from the Ashanti tribe, and that's where Queen Nanny is. So maybe that's why I got identified her. Because if we are truly from the Ashanti tribe, and her brother's name was Akampong, Kujo, Johnny, and Kua. And they were known, as I said, they were known to be formidable fighters and great tacticians, even in their own land. And they escaped and lived in the mountains, I had just said. And they traded weapons for food. They were very smart. The weapons that they used, they traded, I guess, with other people in the town, so they would go in the town and bring them food. They were very smart. And also, what I admire about them most of all, they depended on the Most High, who led. They were very spiritual people. Now, in the book, they call it magical, but we know it's not magical. It's the Most High, if we obey Him and listen to Him, that He will lead us in lead us in the right direction, and that's what they did. So they adhered to their spiritual beliefs and involved and invoked supernatural forces. They were boasted by tales of their ferocity, provide an element of psychological warfare, in addition to a brilliant military strategist, fearless leader. Nanny played an important role psychologically on instilling confidence and courage in her followers, much like Araminta. Araminta, of course, is Harriet Tubman. I found her real name, so I don't even call her Harriet Tubman anymore. But anyway, she instilled confidence very much as Harriet Tubman did with her people, and she was also known to be possessed of knowledge of herbs and of other traditional healing methods, and she practiced by Africans with the Arawak. The Arawak Indians were already there. Christopher Columbus came over here, and they killed up all the Arawaks. Then that's when they went to Africa and went to Ghana and brought the Africans over here. And the name maroon original term was called Cimarron. And Cimarrons were wild cows that they couldn't tame, and they always ran off in the woods. Thus, they started calling the Africans that ran away maroons. And today, they have a council of elders. A brother was interviewing them. I didn't see any females there, and I didn't think much about it. But he said that, he asked me, he said, well, do y'all have any women on the council of elders? So I hope they haven't gone to the, what's the term I want to use? Where the men run everything. But anyway, they did say, yeah, they were the brothers were very respectful. They don't deal with Europeans at all. And they asked them, how do they teach their children? Do they teach how they educate their children? And they educate their children in the way of their history and of the maroons. And they don't. And they said they don't have any problem with their young, probably because they said, well, they use the term Babylon. They said they don't deal with Babylon, meaning the Europeans. And in fact, they said they only had one killing among the maroon community in 17 or 18 something. This is 2017. So they don't have animosity toward each other. They have love and work and responsibility. They support each other greatly. They're really somebody to be very proud of. And so they defeated the British in 1738, and they got their reparations. Then we still don't have ours yet. They gave them a lot of land. They had to give them this land because they beat them. It was a war. It was an actual army military war, and they beat and subdued the British. So that's how they won their freedom. And so they're, to me, I just love them. They're very interesting people. There are many, how I found out about Nanny, I used to do research on Queen Nzinga. Queen Nzinga is from the Central America part, all those areas down there. She was a great warrior. And I happened upon Queen Nanny at that time. And of course, we have our maroons here in this country, in the South Sea Islands, the Gullah people. the Gullah people are maroons. They never associated with us, well, with Americans, that is. They lived way out. They lived around the sea in that south, you might know, in Georgia and all that. And they lived in the woods. So they maintain a lot of their African culture as other maroons do. And the brother that got killed down there in that church, he was a Gullah person. We have our own maroons, and these are people I really love. And you could do your research on YouTube as well if you would like to, and you can learn a lot more about the different maroons and our great warriors. So we still rise, no matter what they do. Okay, I guess that's it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.